Pessoal, a Paula, então, que vai falar conosco agora lá da Itália, ela é membro do corpo diretivo da Associação Italiana de Pacientes com LHON e ela faz parte também da Federação Internacional de Pacientes, aliás, de associações de pacientes que têm LHON. Tem 17 países que fazem parte dessa federação e ela tem uma vasta experiência para trazer para nós aqui. Ela é afetada há mais de 30 anos. E ela vai poder falar para a gente um pouco também uma coisa que é muito interessante e relevante para nós, que é o atendimento que existe no sistema público de saúde italiano para pessoas com LHON e doenças mitocondriais em geral, que é algo que a gente tem muito a aprender com eles, com o que a Itália faz lá. Então vamos iniciar aqui a conversa. Tá me ouvindo já? Já. Hello Paula, how is everything? Can you hear me?
Hello, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and we are just about to start, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So, well, the space is for you now. You can start for us, please, okay? Ela vai começar a falar já conosco.
Okay, thank you, and hello, Brazil.
Olá, bom dia.
For inviting me to this very interesting conference on LHON. Thank you, Pedro Mendes and NATO, for inviting me.
Ela está agradecendo pelo convite, né, para nós aqui. You keep going. You can go, please.
I will tell you a little bit about my story. And Pedro kindly offered to translate into Portuguese, as I don't know Portuguese except for obrigado. I am affected by LHON myself. I always say that I am a veteran in LHON because I have been affected for 30 years. Go ahead.
Ok. Ela tem Leber há 30 anos e ela pode falar muita coisa a respeito da Leber por causa disso, por causa dessa experiência dela.
About 30 years ago, in fact exactly 30 years ago, I was in the United States, in North Carolina, for my husband's work. I was a very young mother, my son was only 2, and suddenly, one day, looking at the calendar on the wall, I realized that the numbers were appearing one by one.
Ok. Ela estava morando nos Estados Unidos, né, na Carolina do Norte, por causa do trabalho do marido dela, tinha um filho pequeno, e ela começou a notar a perda de visão quando ela estava olhando para um calendário. Okay.
I don't know if you can see my slides. There should be a picture. The first slide is a photo of me sitting on the stairs when I first became affected.
Just a moment, we're going to see the slides here, okay? Just one moment, please. Tá para colocar lá, Leber? Os slides dela? We're going to put for so everybody here can see with us, okay?
Okay.
Paula, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just gonna start with the first slide, okay? You can talk based on the first slide, okay? You can start.
Okay, can you see the slides?
Yes, it's available for us now.
Okay, just 1 second.
The name of the first slide is My Story, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are in this one.
Okay, so I came to the point of when I was looking at the calendar, I was sitting on a couch with my 2-year-old son, and I realized that the numbers were appearing one by one, and this part we already translated. The following day, and for the next 2 weeks, I realized that there was no change. This white spot was becoming larger and larger instead of going away. Go ahead, Pedro.
Ok, ela foi percebendo então que a perda de visão foi ficando maior e maior e ela não entendia por quê. So you couldn't understand why your vision was decreasing, right? Was getting worse.
It was actually not a matter of my vision decreasing. center of a hole in my vision. There was like a coin blocking the vision behind it.
It was like blurred, is it?
Yeah, it wasn't blurred. It was a hole in the picture.
Ah, ok.
A spot.
Ok. Ela está dizendo então que no início ela notou como se tivesse alguma coisa bloqueando a visão, alguma coisa que impedisse a visão dela, um bloqueio na visão. Isso foi a primeira sensação dela, a primeira percepção dela. Ok.
When I realized that this wasn't going away, I began to go to different eye doctors. The first one looked at my eyes and he looked at my ear and he diagnosed me with a brain tumor sitting on my acoustic nerve and pushing on my optic nerve.
Oh my God. O primeiro médico que ela passou achou que ela teria um tumor na cabeça, né? E próximo do ouvido. Foi a primeira coisa que ela ouviu. Which is terrifying to hear this, I can imagine. Horrível ouvir uma coisa dessa, um diagnóstico desse. Okay.
Thank you, Pedro. In fact, I thought it was an easy diagnosis since I was supposed to wait for an MRI, magnetic resonance test, which in 1992 in the United States took at least 6 weeks before I could have it.
So it took 6 months for you to have the resonance images, is that?
Yes.
Então ela levou 6 meses para que ela tivesse o resultado da ressonância magnética. And these exams showed you that it wasn't a tumor in your brain, right?
6 weeks later, the doctors told me they made a mistake, that I had no brain tumor.
Ok. Então depois de 6 meses é que ela foi saber que não era um tumor na cabeça. Okay.
So then I continued my journey to try to find out why this white spot in my right eye was getting bigger and bigger and not going away.
How much time did it took? You realized that the spot was not going away, right?
Yes, it was getting bigger and bigger, and I lived in a remote area in the United States. As you know, not every place where you live in the United States is a big city like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. I lived in a very small city, 5 hours from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Sim, ela morava em uma cidade pequena, né, no interior da Carolina do Norte, e nesse tempo que ela morou lá, ela foi percebendo que esse bloqueio que ela mencionou, ela se refere dessa forma como um bloqueio na visão, ele só foi aumentando, e ela não entendia por que e ainda não tinha um diagnóstico. Ok.
When I arrived in Raleigh, North Carolina, I went to Duke University, which was signaled to me as one of the major hospitals in the United States where President Nixon had been.
What is the name of the hospital, please?
It was Duke University.
What is the what city it is located, please?
It's in Durham. Durham, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Also in North Carolina. And there you had a better diagnosis or no?
No. There they told me I had a stroke.
Ok, just one second. Eu estava perguntando aqui para ela como é que foi. Ela está contando sobre a trajetória dela em busca do diagnóstico. Então, primeiro suspeitaram de um tumor, depois ela foi para um hospital de referência lá na Carolina do Norte e ainda assim não conseguiu, mesmo sendo um hospital que era referência em oftalmologia, não disseram para ela qual seria o diagnóstico. E ela está seguindo aqui nessa trajetória dela. Ok, Paula, you can go, please.
They told me I should take an aspirin a day to save my second eye. Go ahead.
Sorry, can you repeat this, please?
Yes, they told me, the doctor told me in Durham that I should take 1 aspirin a day to save my second eye.
Oh, ok. O médico disse para ela que ela teria que tomar uma aspirina por dia para ela poder não perder a visão do segundo olho, porque o primeiro já estava afetado. Então, de acordo com esse médico, se ela tomasse aspirina, ela não perderia a visão do segundo olho. A gente vê como os diagnósticos se confundem e são estranhos às vezes. Ok.
So I went to another hospital and they told me they thought I had multiple sclerosis.
You went to a second doctor after this big university, and the doctor told you you had neurosis of Leber, yes?
No, multiple sclerosis.
Ok. O outro diagnóstico que ela teve foi de esclerose múltipla, que também é confundido com o LHON no começo, porque pensam que é neurite ótica, né, causada pela esclerose. Ok.
Thank you, Pedro. Until now, I think that many of us have a similar story, because LHON, Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy, is still very difficult to diagnose.
Ok, Paula, let me just translate the last sentence you told. Então ela está dizendo uma coisa que nós como pacientes e quem acompanha a LHON, estamos muito habituados, né, que é confundir em LHON com doença autoimune, esclerose múltipla, neuromielite e outras. No meu caso mesmo acharam que era uma doença autoimune atípica e ela passou por isso também. Acreditaram que ela tinha alguma coisa relacionada à esclerose ou semelhante. Ok.
Somebody told me that I should go to another hospital called Johns Hopkins Medical Center. It is quite famous, and it's located in Baltimore.
Então ela recomendaram que ela fosse para o Johns Hopkins, que é em Baltimore, que é um hospital super conhecido, super famoso, renomado mundialmente, e aí lá ela prosseguiu com essa tentativa de diagnóstico. E so what happened there? O que aconteceu lá, né?
6 weeks later, I received the diagnosis of Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy with 3 different mutations. 2 of them were mild mutations, but one of them is supposed to be the strongest mutation in LHON, and it's the 11778 mutation.
So the 1178 is the mutation you have?
11778.
Ok. Então, em Baltimore, nesse hospital de referência, foi que ela pôde ter finalmente o diagnóstico dela. Ela tem a 11778, que é a mutação mais comum para LHON, né? Foi essa mutação diagnosticada dela lá. And how long did it take from the beginning of your symptoms to this diagnosis in Baltimore? How long?
It took about 7 months.
7 months. 7 meses, então, desde o início do sintoma até o diagnóstico. Ok.
There was a low vision hospital in Baltimore, and they told me that I could have glasses. And the glasses you see in the photo on the right are the glasses I was given only to be able to watch TV with my left eye, which was still okay.
Ok. Então recomendaram para ela um óculos para que ela pudesse ter uma qualidade de vida melhor, mas ele só funcionaria para o olho que não estava afetado ainda. Because in this first moment, you had only one eye affected, right? The second eye was not affected yet.
Immediately after my diagnosis, within 2 weeks, I started losing my left eye too.
Ok. Então, depois do diagnóstico que ela teve de que era Leber no primeiro olho, ela começou a perda visual no segundo olho também. Ok.
I was told I had a mitochondrial disease, and I had never heard of mitochondria. I didn't know that we had another DNA in our system. I thought we only had one DNA, but I learned that we have another DNA, a mitochondrial DNA, which, when affected, can cause very rare and very, very serious diseases.
Ok. Então ela está dizendo que ela sequer sabia, ela desconhecia que a gente tinha entre aspas, um segundo DNA, né, que é o DNA mitocondrial. E ela não sabia que quando existe uma mutação mitocondrial, nós podemos ter doenças tão graves e tão raras como é o caso da LHON. Ok.
Naturally, as you can imagine, it was very devastating to when I received those glasses, because I would never wear them in public. As you can see, they look more like a monocle. My right eye was completely covered by a black cover, because I couldn't see anything at all out of my right eye except for lights and shadows.
And those glasses you were using, they were electronic glasses, right?
They're not electronic. As you can see, you tie them around your head. They have one monocle for the good eye, and they cover the bad eye.
Ok. Então, esses óculos que foram recomendados para ela, no começo ela não queria usar, ela não gostava, porque eles tinham um aspecto que não era muito bonito, né? Não era muito agradável de usar, então se sente um pouco de vergonha, de constrangimento em utilizar esses óculos. Ok, Paula?
The 11778 mutation had just been discovered in 1988, so only 3 years before my diagnosis by Professor Doug Wallace.
So you had your diagnosis 3 years after when the doctors discovered this mutation, right?
Yes, by Dr. Doug Wallace, and in fact in the United States in the beginning they called it Wallace's syndrome.
Então no começo eles davam outro nome para a mutação, né, que era o nome do cientista que ela mencionou, Wallace, síndrome de Wallace, que era o médico que inicialmente descobriu a 11778, e o diagnóstico dela ocorreu 3 anos após descobrirem que essa mutação existia. Foi muito no início de tudo, né? Ok.
I want to tell you a little bit about mitochondrial diseases.
Yeah, please. Ela gostaria de dizer
Mitochondrial diseases are a heterogeneous set of pathologies caused by a change in the mitochondria. Mitochondria are the cell's power plant.
I'm going to ask you to repeat the last sentence, please.
Yes. Mitochondrial diseases are a heterogeneous set of hereditary pathologies caused by an alteration in the function of the mitochondria. Mitochondria are the cell's power plant.
Ok. Ela está dizendo que a mitocôndria é responsável pela força das células, né? Então ela dá a importância que as mitocôndrias têm, né, e dos reflexos que existem quando a função mitocondrial não é boa, não está correta. Ok, Paula?
In their lifetime, 1 in 5,000 children can exhibit a mitochondrial disease. Go ahead.
1 in 5,000, right?
Yes, one mitochondrial disease.
Ela está trazendo um dado, né, que 1 a cada 5.000 crianças podem nascer com uma doença mitocondrial. Para a gente ver o quanto é raro, né? Ok.
Okay. Mitochondrial diseases can arise at any time from childhood to adolescence to adulthood. Each case is different from the other, even within the same family.
Ok. Então ela está dizendo que os sintomas de uma mutação mitocondrial podem chegar a qualquer momento da vida, né? Na infância, na adolescência, na vida adulta, e isso pode variar até dentro da família. Dentro de uma mesma família pode chegar em idades diferentes. Okay.
There are hundreds of different mitochondrial diseases. Some mitochondrial disorder might only affect one organ, such as the eye, the optic nerve, as it is in the case of LHON.
Algumas mutações mitocondriais podem afetar apenas uma parte do corpo, apenas um órgão, como a princípio é o caso da LHON, que geralmente é o nervo óptico, mas outras doenças mitocondriais podem afetar outras partes do funcionamento do nosso organismo. Ok.
Okay. Most involve multiple organs. The body parts that need the most energy are the heart, the brain, the muscles, which are most affected by mitochondrial diseases. An affected individual might exhibit a spectrum of symptoms, not only one.
Geralmente as pessoas que têm mutações mitocondriais, elas apresentam um espectro de sintomas, né? E os órgãos mais atingidos geralmente são o coração, o cérebro e os músculos, né? E ela comentou isso, é comum que existam mais de um sintoma.
Mitochondrial diseases demonstrate significant phenotypic and genotypic variability, often making the diagnostic process very difficult and challenging.
Ela está falando do quão difícil é o diagnóstico, porque essas doenças apresentam variações. Então, nem sempre é difícil diagnosticar. É o que a gente tinha ouvido aqui um pouco do Dr. Felipe Chicani também, da dificuldade do diagnóstico, porque há muitas variações, há muitas peculiaridades nas doenças mitocondriais, né?
I wish I could speak like you.
Sorry?
I wish I could speak like you.
Oh,
Very much.
thank you. You. Okay.
So I'll continue. As you know, there are still no cures for most of the mitochondrial diseases.
You said we are still looking for answers, right?
Yes, as you know, there are still no cures for most mitochondrial diseases.
A gente ainda, a comunidade científica, nós todos estamos buscando ainda por respostas em torno das doenças mitocondriais. Ainda tem muito que ser descoberto, né? Muito que ser desvendado, né? Sobre elas.
So I wanted to just give you a general idea of mitochondrial diseases because, as I told you, I became affected 30 years ago. I was in the United States. My mother and father and my sisters were in Italy. And in Italy, they heard about mitochondrial diseases, and they were expecting me to end up in a wheelchair. They thought it was something like SLA or something like multiple sclerosis, and that it would affect every organ in my body, that would begin with my sight and then with the rest of my body.
Como ela teve esse diagnóstico há bastante tempo, né, 30 anos, e no começo tinha menos informações ainda do que se tem hoje, acreditaram que ela disse aqui que acreditaram que ela pararia em uma cadeira de rodas e teria o corpo todo dela prejudicado, afetado, o que é, como nós já falamos aqui anteriormente, devastador. Isso foi o que pensaram quando ela voltou para a Itália dos Estados Unidos, né? O sintoma começou nos Estados Unidos, ela retornou para o país de origem dela, que é a Itália, com as pessoas acreditando que ela chegaria a um quadro muito pior do que é o da LHON, por desconhecimento, né?
I am not going to tell you that things were easy, because it wouldn't be true. I am going to tell you that the first 2 years were extremely difficult. I decided I had to go on living because my son was only 3 at the time. By the time I got my diagnosis, my husband needed me, and so one day I said, life has to go on, even if I can't see.
Yeah, great. That was great that you could realize that and keep going. Então ela disse que os primeiros 2 anos foram os mais difíceis, né? Ela se deu conta de que ela teria que continuar seguindo em frente. Ela era casada, tinha um filho pequeno que dependia dela, então ela teve que tomar forças para seguir adiante, mas com certeza não foi fácil.
I realized that there is always another way of living. I can't see, but I can hear. I can walk. I can do lots of things, but just in a different way. My husband got me the very first computer with a voice synthesizer. I began to learn Braille. And at the time, I was the president of a cultural organization in the United States. And my friends were very helpful. They helped me to continue doing the things I was doing before, just in a different way.
Então, ela teve que aprender a fazer tudo de uma outra forma, né? Ela recebeu o computador com fala, né? Com voz, que lê o texto, e recebeu muito apoio dos amigos e do marido dela, e percebeu que ela podia continuar fazendo tudo que ela já fazia, mas de uma outra forma, com adaptações. Okay?
In December 1994, we came back to Italy, and I had left Italy as a so-called normal person, but I was coming back as a disabled person. And all my friends were waiting for me to see what I was like. But inside me, I thought, I am still Paula. I am still the same person.
Ela está dizendo uma coisa que é importante, né? Porque quando ela regressou dos Estados Unidos para a Itália, todo mundo queria vê-la, né? Com uma certa curiosidade e ver como que ela estaria, como alguém que agora tinha uma deficiência física. E ela disse que dentro dela, ela teve isso como força para dizer que ela era a mesma pessoa, que ela ainda era a Paula e que não mudaria a vida dela, ela seguiria em frente.
We lived in the south of Italy on a small military base. My husband was in the Navy and he was away most of the time. And I was alone with my child, having to take him to school, going to teachers and parents meetings, and taking to sports. But I couldn't do that on my own. I always had to ask for help because I couldn't see anymore.
Ela está dizendo da dificuldade que era criar o filho com a distância do marido, porque ele trabalhava e viajava bastante em razão do trabalho dele, então ela tinha que fazer tudo sozinha, levar o filho para a escola, levar o filho para as reuniões, levar o filho para o esporte, e precisava de ajuda porque ela não conseguia se locomover sozinha para isso, então foi um desafio para ela.
It was my family doctor who told me that I had a right to receive a disability insurance and a disability pension, that in Italy I could request it, and that if you are legally blind, you receive a certain amount of money. Of course, at the time, I didn't think I was getting money, but I was hoping I would get a person to accompany me to places, because this was the most difficulty I had.
So in Italy, you have an assistance monetary for people who are legally blind, right? And did you receive this help?
After a year, I was approved by the doctors, by a commission, and a year later by another commission. They realized I was legally blind, and I received a pension.
Do you still receive it until today?
It's a long story. No.
No. Okay. But this assistance is the Italian government still gives this assistance to people there, or no?
Yes, of course, yes.
Okay. Então ela disse que na Itália existe uma assistência econômica, né? Eu perguntei para ela se ela recebeu. Ela recebeu durante um tempo, né, para pacientes, pessoas lá que são consideradas legalmente cegas, e ela já recebeu durante um tempo esse auxílio, mas ela disse que atualmente ela não recebe mais, e tem alguma coisa aí a mais que ela disse que seria uma longa história para explicar o porquê que hoje ela não recebe mais, mas o sistema de saúde italiano fornece uma ajuda econômica para quem é considerado legalmente cego. Okay. Can you tell us more about the assistance that the Italian government, the Italian health system gives to people with LHON or legally blind and rare diseases, all of this?
Certainly, yes. It's not just LHON, of course. In fact, LHON patients are the ones who have the most difficulty in receiving this pension, and sometimes they take it away. Why is that? Because we lose our central vision. We have some peripheral vision left, even though, as you know, not all LHON patients are the same way, especially today, if you want to translate that.
Yeah. Então ela disse que o governo italiano oferece ajuda para pessoas que têm deficiência visual, mas em relação a LHON parece que existe uma dificuldade em razão da variação que existe de visão, de acuidade visual para quem tem LHON. Tem pessoas com LHON que têm mais acuidade e menos acuidade. Então isso parece que dificulta um pouquinho que o governo de lá ofereça esse auxílio. Ok?
Okay, so in Italy, visually impaired people, blind people, totally blind people, considered totally blind, are the disabled people who get the most, the highest type of, how can I call it, insurance aid, for disability insurance.
Ok. Então, as pessoas que são completamente cegas na Itália, sim, recebem, parece que um auxílio maior e um auxílio financeiro maior. Agora, para as pessoas com baixa visão, parece que existem alguns percalços aí, mas recebem também. Eu vou perguntar para ele, então, o que é necessário para alguém que tem LHON lá receber esse auxílio, para quem tem baixa visão receber esse auxílio. So, can you tell us, for people with LHON or visually impaired, low vision, what is it necessary to get this insurance that you told us? They can receive too, but what do they have to do to attend to this kind of insurance?
Okay, we have a family doctor. The family doctor has to send in your request for disability insurance. Then we have the National Providence Agency, which is the one that looks after elderly people's pensions as well as disabled people's pensions.
Ok, então ela está dizendo que quem cuida disso na Itália, uma coisa semelhante aqui no Brasil, é a previdência deles, como se fosse o nosso INSS aqui, né? Que cuida tanto das pessoas idosas quanto das pessoas com deficiência. But organization that you told us that gives the insurance, what is it necessary for a patient, for a person to receive this insurance as being low
I will
vision?
tell you. It's a little bit tricky and it's a little bit difficult because the law was changed in 2001. Basically, they added on that you need to have no more than a peripheral residue, no more than 3%, less than 3% rather than no more. You have to have just less than 3% of the peripheral residue, which means that you have no central vision and you may have a residue in the perimeter. Or you may have lights and shadows in your entire visual field, or hand movement. Hand movement means when the doctor moves his hand in front of you, you can see the movement.
Okay. So the help, the financial help, is basically for people who are really legally blind and with almost no vision, right?
With very little residue. You have to have very, like it is the case of many people with LHON. But there is a catch. There is a problem. And we are dealing with this problem right now. It is very difficult to have a visual field test. Okay, many of you have had a visual field test, and you have to focus on a central spot. But we can't see the central spot, and you're not allowed to move your eyes. How else do we measure the exact perimeter?
Ela está dizendo que é difícil medir, né, o quanto cada pessoa é. Mais ou menos o que o Dr. Felipe Ticano tinha falado, é difícil falar em percentual. E isso dificulta um pouquinho também que lá na Itália o governo forneça ajuda, porque eles tentam se basear e verificar o quanto a pessoa enxerga, mas essa medição é muito complicada. Eu vou perguntar para ela, além do auxílio financeiro, o que mais o sistema italiano faz pelas pessoas com LHON com doenças raras? So Paula, besides the financial help that you are telling us, what else the Italian health system offers to patients with LHON? Do you have a specific actions for people with LHON or mitochondrial disease? I mean, besides financial, besides the insurance.
Besides insurance, if you're lucky enough to get it, because as I said, not every doctor is the same and not every patient is the same. And, you know, we have a financial crisis all over the world because of many reasons at the moment. We have an exemption from medicines because LHON is a rare disease, and if you are affected by a rare disease, you do not have to pay the medicines, the medication that you need.
So, for example, you can receive Rexon for free or no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, então ela está dizendo
You may only receive. Be careful though, because of an international consensus, to be able to have Rexon for free, you can only get it within the first year since the onset of the disease in the second eye.
How many years? Do you know how many years?
You may only get Rexon since the first, since 1 year, since the onset of the second eye. Not any later than that, because doctors think that it is useless to get it later.
Ok. Ela está dizendo aqui que o sistema de saúde italiano fornece o Rexona, que é o Idebenona na versão europeia, industrializado, mas eles fornecem gratuitamente para os pacientes que desenvolveram o sintoma com até 1 ano, né? Após 1 ano eles não fornecem mais, justamente porque existe essa controvérsia sobre a eficácia dele há mais de 1 ano. Paula, we have few time here, and I apologize for that. So I would like to ask you to tell us a little bit about the Italian Association and what you have been doing there. What actions the Italian Association does for the patients. Please, can you tell us a little bit?
Yes, I will tell you a little bit about both MITOCON and IFP. because they're both very important, and because I think you could certainly join INP as one of our members around the world.
Estou dizendo para ela que nós, enquanto Instituto Reconverso, gostaríamos de nos juntar à Federação Internacional de Associações de Pacientes com LHON. Ela é membro, como eu falei, do corpo diretivo dessa federação, e ela vai falar um pouquinho do trabalho da Federação Internacional e da Associação Italiana. Ok?
Okay. So, MITOCON, I only found MITOCON more than 20 years since my disease. Until then, I was completely alone. MITOCON was founded in 2007 by a group of parents of children affected by mitochondrial disease. Their mission was to promote scientific research and promote the quality of life of children and adults affected by this disease.
Ok, então a Associação Italiana foi fundada em 2007 por um grupo de pais de pacientes afetados, com o intuito de fornecer uma qualidade de vida melhor para aqueles pacientes que tinham LHON e que ainda tinham pouco contato com outras pessoas, não se conheciam, não tinham apoio. Ok?
In 2009, MITOCON created the Italian Mitochondrial Patients Registry.
Em 2009 eles criaram um registro para os pacientes com LHON na Itália, que é uma forma de ter um quantitativo, né, de quantas pessoas têm a doença no país. Ok?
MITOCON is now collaborating with International MITOPatients, INP, and the network of clinicians and research to create a global patients registry. Okay?
Então a Associação Italiana está colaborando com a Federação Internacional de Associações de Pacientes com LHON para criar um registro global, um registro mundial de pacientes com LHON, que é uma coisa muito interessante que nós temos interesse em fazer parte disso também. So Paula, we wanna help with this. We wanna cooperate with this. Okay, so we are celebrating what you have just told us. We wanna help in this situation. Okay.
Okay. So let me continue with MITOCON and then I'll tell you a little bit more about INP.
Okay.
So since 2011. MITOCON has organized the Mitochondrial Disease Conference, which is an international conference today. Today, MITOCON has allocated over €1,150,000 to support scientific research. €1,150,000.
€1,150,000, right?
Euros to scientific research.
The institution can give this money to research it, right?
We have done a lot of fundraising,
Okay.
and this is how much we have allocated so far, €1,150,000.
Congratulations for that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Ela está dizendo que a Federação Internacional já conseguiu arrecadar mais de €1.100.000 para fornecer para as pesquisas. Então eles realmente conseguem buscar muitos recursos para contribuir com as pesquisas. É fantástico, né, o que eles conseguem fazer. Okay.
MITOCON is also a member of Telecom, and we have projects like MITOCONDRIAIS, which means Mito with you.
Yeah.
And the objectives are, what we aim to is to implement the social media strategy to support patients.
Okay. You mean to spread information, right?
Yes.
Ok. Então eles estão se empenhando, a Federação Internacional está se empenhando cada vez mais, inclusive com as redes sociais, em alcançar mais pessoas e levar informações para mais pessoas, que é uma coisa que nós também precisamos fazer e nos empenhamos aqui também. Okay.
With these projects, we focus on the needs of patients.
Sorry, Paula, can you go on?
With these, with these projects, we focus on the needs of patients.
Ok. Essa arrecadação de dinheiro e essa intenção de levar informação é focada nas necessidades dos pacientes. Paula, let me just tell you one thing. All of the information you told us is amazing for us, incredible, really helpful for us. But we have short time here, and I apologize for that. Yeah,
I need to
yes.
go back.
I just want to ask you to go a little bit faster and go to the end of the presentation. Sorry, but we need to go to another conferences. Okay.
Okay. With MITOCON, we also meet once a month. We have divided the groups into 3 different categories. One for vision impairment, LHON patients and other eye diseases. One for adult patients, and one group for parents of children. And we are followed by psychologists.
Oh, that's very interesting. And this, you mentioned that you have, those are live events or are groups? What exactly?
Well, we have to say that thanks to COVID, we have learned to connect online, and this has really united the whole group in the entire country. We connect online once a month, and it's very useful, like today.
Ok, então uma vez por mês eles têm reuniões com 3 grupos, né? O das crianças, dos adultos e o dos pais das pessoas afetadas. Ok.
MITOCON takes part in Light Up for Mito, which was created by INP. Light Up for Mito is a wonderful project that unites all of the world in mitochondrial diseases. Our color is the color green, and during the mitochondrial disease week on Saturday evening this year, it will be on September 24th. The most important monuments around the world, like the Eiffel Tower, the Colosseum, the Wheel in London, will be lit up in green.
Really interesting. Então ela está dizendo que durante a semana de conscientização para LHON, a semana mundial de conscientização para LHON, eles iluminam os prédios com a cor verde. Então a cor verde foi a cor escolhida para conscientizar as pessoas a respeito da causa LHON. E existe um dia mundial que é o dia mundial de conscientização sobre a LHON. Eu vou perguntar para ela sobre especificamente dessa data. So Paula, the International Day of Awareness for LHON is September 19th, right?
Yes, 3 years ago, I strongly expressed the wish to have an LHON Awareness Day, and since 2019 we started to celebrate the LHON Awareness Day on September 19th. The first theme was diagnosis and therapies. The second theme the following year was devices, technical devices. Last year it was accessibility. This is the 3rd year actually. We're going to be talking about rehabilitation. And this is where my breaking news comes in. On September 19th, I want to tell you something very, very important if you first want to translate what I just said.
Então, ela está dizendo que o Dia Internacional de Conscientização para LHON foi criado há 3 anos, é o dia 19 de setembro, e nessa data, em cada ano, eles escolhem um tema para focar mais em relação a LHON. Então, um ano foi reabilitação, outro ano tratamento, cada ano é uma coisa. E ela vai nos dizer agora uma novidade que ela recebeu recentemente sobre esse dia de conscientização que ela vai passar agora. So, can you tell us what is the news that going on with the Awareness Day?
Okay, so LHON Awareness Day, the theme this year is rehabilitation, because many people think that once you are blind or legally blind, you cannot rehabilitate. Well, you can certainly rehabilitate, and like I said earlier, you can live in a different way. But I have come across some news. I found a doctor in Australia who is running an interesting project, and because this project is being financed by one of our members, INT members, I decided to look into it a little bit more. He's working with stem cells on reconstructing ganglion cells in the optic nerve for people who lost their sight a long time ago. For people who no longer have alive ganglion cells, he's talking about regenerating the ganglion cells and restoring vision to people who can't see, who haven't seen for many years.
This is amazing. And do you know if people there in Australia have already recovered their vision, their sight with this?
he hasn't, we have to really be careful on a study like this because, as you know, research is very slow. There are different steps to research.
Yeah.
Right now, he's working in the lab. He hasn't tried it on small animals yet. That would be the next step. After trying it on small animals, there will be a trial, and we're looking at 5 to 7 years. But it's very, very promising because it is the first time for me in 30 years that I ran into something that looks really promising with stem cells. Basically, he will be taking the neural cells from the retinal cells and transforming them into stem cells and good stem cells. In any case, I'm not very good at explaining how he's going to do it, but he's going to be a guest speaker on the LHON Awareness Day on September 19th, which will be 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock Italy time, and you're 5 hours behind us, so I believe it will be 8 o'clock in the morning for you.
Oh,
so I hope you can join us.
Yeah, we want to join, of course, definitely. We want to try to join you in this event, of course. I'm going to translate the last part you told here, okay? Então, ela está dizendo aqui que em 30 anos que ela tem Lyon, foi a primeira vez que ela ouviu falar de um estudo promissor com células-tronco para Lyon, que está sendo desenvolvido por um médico, cientista da Austrália, que inclusive recebe recursos da IMP, da Federação Internacional de Associações de Pacientes com Lyon, e parece que é muito promissor. Esse estudo com células-tronco serviriam para Lyon está muito no início, mas parece que de tudo que ela conhece, ela que é uma pessoa que tem muita experiência com isso, é um estudo que mostra-se realmente muito promissor. Ela está bem animada, bem empolgada com isso, e esse cientista australiano vai falar em um evento internacional em setembro, que ela está nos convidando aqui como grupo do Brasil para participar online também, para assistir a fala dele, e eu já disse para ela que nós temos interesse em acompanhar. So, Paula, thank you so much for that. I will have to apologize again, but we have to go to the end of the presentation. What would you like to tell us to finish the lecture, please? And I'm sorry again.
I would like to tell you, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. What is the objective of IMP is to share best practices and knowledge among different countries, to develop a way to find an early diagnosis, to build together a data, a registry where doctors can get to easily and make research a lot easier. So to work together, join forces, and find cure for LHON and other mitochondrial diseases.
Ok. Então ela agradeceu mais uma vez o convite e disse que o interesse da Federação Internacional sempre foi reunir os países, sempre foi se juntar para se fortalecer e trocar ajuda mútua. Então ela está feliz com o convite, agradeceu. E eu vou agradecer aqui para ela também o fato dela ter aceito, né, o nosso convite, e vou encerrar aqui com ela. So Paula, thank you so much. You were amazing. It was very good to count on you here with us today. And especially because today is your birthday, right? So happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Just 1 second. May God bless you and give you all the best. And people here in Brazil would like to say happy birthday to you, too, in Portuguese. Just 1 second, ok? É aniversário da Paula hoje, então.
1, 2, 3 parabéns pra você nessa data querida, muitas felicidades, muitos anos de vida.
Thank you so much, Paula. Thank you, and talk to you soon. Bye bye, okay? That's right.